One. So today we'll be working on pleats, gathers, which are method of controlling fullness. So fullness, the word fullness, fullness helps achieve proper fit and comfort, and is done to create desired style. So fullness is released by pleats, by tucks and gathers. So fullness, the word fullness is released by pleats, gathers, tucks. So if you check, by the time you pleat your skirt, it gives you this very fine feature, this very fine fullness feature. That's the whole idea. So we'll be working on pleats, gathers, different pleats, knife pleats, inverted pleats, and all. So those are methods of controlling fullness. So the first thing you need to do is get a sloper. So I have my center front sloper. Next, divide the sloper into five or less, it depends. So I'm just gonna measure what I have and divide it into five. So and then square down to the bottom. So I'll have 1, 2, 3. So whatever you have, you measure and you replicate at the bottom. Then square down. Square down. And then you label. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to label it. Next is to get the calculation ready after dividing the sloper into 5. So I'm using 5. So for gathers and pleats is you do waist times 3 or 4. So for gathers or pleats, you it is 3 or 4. So you times your waist by 3 or 4. So if your gathers or pleat is going to be on the hip, if you're starting from the hip, you're going to divide or times the hip by times 3 or 4. So I'm going to explain that again. So whatever the hip or the waist measurement is, you times it by 3 or 4. So I'm going to measure what I have here and then times it by 3. So you measure what you have on the waist. So I have on my waist from center front to the tip, I have 11.5. So I'll times it by 3. So I'll times 11.5 by 3. So multiply the waist or the hip, whichever measurement you're using. So that's 34.5. So if I times 11.5 by 3, I'll get 34.5. So I'm going to explain again. So the first thing to do is divide your pattern by 4 or 5. So I did by 5 and I squared it downwards to my hem and then I labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next step, measure the waist because I'm trying to gather my fullness on the waist. So I'm going to measure my waist from the center front to the side. Measure what I have here times 3. So you can work with times 3 or 4. It depends on the extra fullness you want. So if you want it fuller, you can use times 4 or more. But times 3 is the basic. So we'll do 11.5 times 3. I have 34.5. So whatever you measure, times it by 3 and then you write out the measurement. So next you're going to divide this measurement by the amount of slash on the pattern. So the amount here I have is 5. So I'm going to divide the 34.5 divided by 5. So don't forget, if you did it by 3, if you have 3 slash parts, what you'll be having is different. So yeah, what I have is 6.9 after dividing. So you're going to write this measurement aside. Please, let's go through this one more time. So you measure, first thing you do, measure your waist divided by 5 and then you mark out, square it down. Label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to number it so that you don't mix them up. Next step, get the waist measurement, times it by 3, you have 34.5, and then you divide it by the number of slashed lines you have, which is 5. So 34.5 divided by 5, I have 6.9. So that's what I'll be working with, 6.9. So next, what I want to do is cut out the squared line. We still have our measurement done. Cut out the squared lines. So you see, because we're going to cut it out, that's why we need to label. Let me still write my CF here. So this is my on food. So no, it's still cut on food. And then I'll cut out all the lines. Take it aside, bring a paper and place it on it. So I'll get the first one. Now, if you don't have a straight line, you have to place it on the straight edge. If you don't have a straight line, you can create a straight line. So, but my pattern edge is straight, so I'm going to use the edge. And you place it following the numbers. I have my CF1. That's what I'll start with. CF1 is on food. Now, the measurements you have here, that's the excess you have that you're going to use to create your fullness, 6.9. You measure it and you square it down. So I have 6.9. So this is 6.9. 6.9 cm. I'll mark 6.9 here. I would mark, and then I'll square it out. So once I square it out, I'll bring my number 2 and place. So you place it on the mark line. Next, I'll repeat same after placing my 2, and I'll measure 6.9, mark 6.9, mark, then square out. Place number 3. It's the same thing. 6.9, 6.9, and square out. Place number 4. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share. If you have any question, put it in the comment section. I promise to attend to it. Okay, same thing. 6.9, 6.9, and I'll square out. You have to ensure you have a straight line. And then I'll bring the 5th one there. Tape. Next, when you're done, use your ruler and square the bottom part all the way. Next, cut out the side properly. Then now add on another paper and add the necessary allowance. So I add it on my paper to add my allowance. So I get my white paper to add so that I can add my allowance around it. You want to stick this in front at the edge. So I'm going to add the allowance 1.5 at the side, 1.5 at the side, and 3 cm at the hem. So we're adding 3 cm at the hem, so it's at the edge. This is 3 cm. 3 cm at the hem. So we're adding 3 cm because this is the straight cut. If it was flare, we would have added 1.5 at the hem, but this is a straight cut, so we'll add 3 cm at the hem. So you want to be careful. Make sure you do everything right. So we'll put out. So this is the final stage. So your center front is still on fold, and this you cut one piece. So I'm going to show you how. So with this we can achieve our knife plate, we can achieve our inverted, and we can achieve our box. So I'll be showing you how to achieve your knife plate using this. So don't forget, this is the face. To achieve the knife plate, you fold to one direction like this, and then you fold. You can measure if you want the distance to be like 1 inch, and then you fold the next one, or 0.5, your choice. So you have to play what you have so that you can have an equal length. So you measure what you have here, fold, and then you get the next one. This is knife plate, so you have to do it all the way down. And then you get the next one and the fold. So it keeps going like this. So this is your knife plate. They will all face one direction. That's knife plate. For the next one I'll be showing you is the inverted plate. For inverted plate, so you pick from one edge to the mid part. So you get the mid part to the mid, and then you pick the second edge to the mid. So what I'm going to do first is point out the mid of this. So now I'm going to create my inverted plates. So you pick, you have to be careful. If this was a fabric, it would be easier. The pattern is now double, so you pick to meet this edge, and you pick the other side to meet, so they'll both meet in the mid. Now this is your inverted plate. So if you're working with all the splits, you need to work with pins, you need to work with pressing iron, you need to follow up. So this is your inverted. So imagine sewing the top part, your plate will open up like this. This is your inverted. Now for the box plate, all you have to do is to the back. So the box plate is reverse of your inverted. So that means for inverted now, this is the front, this is the wrong side. For box plate, this here will be the front, and here will be the wrong side for box plate. So that's the difference. So this is our inverted plate. This is our box plate at the back. See how neatly it comes out, and this is our knife plate. Everything folding to one direction. It shows more at the back. So this is our method of controlling fullness. So we have knife, we have inverted, and we have box. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like and video.